Yo, we're back, and it is currently 3-2 in favor of Team Liquid. We're entering our sixth match now, and if we want to see that awesome ace match, that means Sage is going to have to overcome the currently on fire TLO on Newkirk Precinct. A little bit of a heads up. Everyone with a brain tells me not to say things like this, but I feel obligated. This is the match that was played a while ago, 5 weeks. So this match will be played on the older version of Newkirk Precinct, which is good for you guys, because that means that we're probably in for about a 2.5-hour game. So get your sleeping bags out.
Yeah, I mean, it was unclear when the first broadcast would happen, so this was played in advance, but every single other broadcast for the rest of the season will be done within several days. So
it is in our interest to play these games as freshly as possible, guys. So we just thought, rather than tell these players that had these results that they now need to do a new set of a clan war, it's most fair to try and keep it to bite the bullet, as it were. It's not great to play 5-week-old games, but it's more fair to the players. So with that, we're underway. Hopefully you guys don't mind. And as Sean said, moving forward, we'll try to do it better. But I am excited for this.
Well, there's no try to do it better. The other matches haven't been played. We actually have to.
We will do it better.
This is literally the only time when it will happen. So
it's a good promise. It's a good promise to make. It's an esports promise that's non-esports, I think. It's like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I love promising things that are literally physically impossible otherwise. It's like, guys, we promise you these matches will be happening sooner because they haven't been played yet. Only this Week 1 match has been played. Most of the other Week 1 matches have not even been played. So spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner.
Let's do it.
One of my all-time favorite Protosses to watch stream. Always puts up a sensational show. It is Root Sage.
And in his way, on the other side of the map, from Germany, it is Team Liquid's TLO. And I have to echo Sean's sentiments. Sage, another player that every time he's streaming, I'm like, whoop, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next little chunk of time. He's very aggressive. He's got great mechanics. He has a variety in his play. He's not one of those guys that I watch and see the same 3 builds across the matchups over and over again. He actually does a lot of different things. I really like that.
Yeah. I mean, that really genuinely, I wonder what his motivation is there. Because, I mean, somehow, even when he's doing long ladder sessions, he'll just like, all right, I'm just going to go proxy double gate. And like builds 2 gateways in the guy's base, wins or loses. And then right on back to playing these long, beautiful macro games. I don't even know how he decides to do that, but like you say, he's one of the most colorful and varied Protosses, already going for the pylon gate in main base. But I think of all the Zerg players, excluding Cats, of course, TLO is indeed the most crazy.
He absolutely is. And I think one of the things I like about him is that part of the reason why he's become kind of the new TLO, the guy that, again, makes the round of 8s, the round of 4s of these big tournaments, taking out really good players, is he still has that wild card mad scientist in him. Like, we'll see more Nidus play out of him than I feel like almost anybody else. We'll see a lot of drop play. We'll see a lot of burrow play. But he's mixed that in with what I feel like is a much more solid, consistent, sturdy version of TLO, much more German, if you will, that has turned into better results. I feel like he's the new and improved TLO.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, TLO.
There's no spawning pool.
TLO is doing a little bit of a metagame play. It's going to turn out to be... it's both correct and incorrect.
Yeah.
It's the sort of thing that you do this because you're thinking to yourself, okay, Protosses love going Nexus first on this map. I mean, that's still true on Nexus TE. Not Nexus TE, excuse me, Newkirk Precinct. LE or TE. I don't remember what the acronym is, but they go Nexus first, damn it, Jeff. And that is exactly what this triple hatch is to exploit. And if one of them gets cannon rushed, you can actually double expand as a result of that and then build your pool. It's like really weird. You just kind of permit those cannon rushes to happen. So incidentally, this is going to work out magnificently for TLO. He's going to have more than enough drones, incredible creep spread.
Yeah.
And there's not even any units here for Sage.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like if this is a 9 pylon scout, even with the 1 gate expand from Sage, and he knows about these 3 hatches going down like this, I feel like we have an instant 1 base 4 gate. But the question I was going to pose to you, but I guess I already got your opinion on, is if he doesn't scout, and he plays like this, and the 3 hatches complete without issue, I mean, is this just a dream opening for TLO? And I guess you would say yes. I feel like it is.
You know, it really is a dream opening for TLO. I couldn't think of a more comfortable position. The one danger that TLO needs to be concerned about is, of course, getting his creep spread to join everything together,
Right.
because you are up against a gateway firster. These aren't going to be the star ports that finish up at, the star gates that finish up at around 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Right.
I mean, this is going to be done quite fast. This is going to be done before 6 minutes. So, I mean, the Phoenixes are going to be able to pop up. Any harassment is going to be able to pop up, but
Ah.
Phoenixes do tend to be the flavor of PvZ.
You do think it'll be Phoenix and not Void Ray from here, I guess.
I'm pretty sure it'll be Phoenix.
Okay.
There it is.
And we've started to see a little bit more of that, actually. I know that Desro, a famous Canadian Protoss player, does this kind of a timing attack off of this opening where you go 4 or 3 gateways, and then you join that up with 3 or 4 Phoenix, and that's a really potent force against only Lings and perhaps a Queen or 2. So maybe we'll see that kind of timing as well.
Uh-oh, TLO gets in. He sees exactly what's up. But look at this. Sage has already hidden a probe down at the south side, so he's getting ready to, it looks like, try to do this warp, and this is perfect timing. If he does build it, because, I mean, there's going to be a supply block. It doesn't look like this is going to happen. Jeff, don't worry. There's not going to be a pylon down at that bottom side. No, there it is.
Yeah, he has to. That's too much Protoss temptation. They're like, wait a second. You don't have anything to come get this probe. This probe's just here just fine. Okay, well, I guess what I do is build a pylon. And that really jumpstarts the ideas in the Protoss brain where they're like, you know what? If I warp in like 6 zealots plus Phoenix equals maybe win, question mark?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he has enough. There's the first 2. Is there going to be a third? There's the third one. Is he going to go for the push?
He should wait. He should wait. He definitely should not go on a 3. He
Oh
sees
my
4
God.
foes going down. He's going to get a couple drones. I think that's an interesting choice. You might want to save your pickups for the Queens. But he right now has the jump because TLO is showing no signs of scouting that. And guess what? TLO is playing super safe. I think that's 6 4 crawlers. Wow.
Oh my gosh, TLO was convinced that there would be absolutely no zealot pressure, and this is one of the best parts about doing exactly this kind of pressure, is that you think to yourself, all right, well, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to force this Zerg to go for all this air. I'm going to shut down his map control. But look at this TLO with this great hold position micro. And it looks like the Phoenixes can't quite get in to lift the Queen at the natural expansion yet. Zerglings
Not
are
yet.
starting to come out.
They got 1 Queen at the natural, though, and now with no Spore Crawler coverage over here, that other Queen is doomed to die. And already so much damage to because these are Zealots against Lings right now, which is a great pairing for Sage.
There's 20, 28, 30 Zerglings coming out. I think TLO might just sacrifice this. I mean, there's really no way to save it. Looks like he might try to go for one desperation surround to make sure that he picks off at least a few zealots, but oh my gosh, that Mothership Core needs to get into position and plant that recall. Looks like every single zealot is going to fall. Oh, really awful timing. That is one
What are you
of the
talking about,
worst.
Sean? He recalled back the Phoenix, dude. Totally great.
I mean, he recalled back the units
Yeah.
that he wanted to leave over by his opponent and let die all the units that he was trying to recall back. So that was about as good of an outcome that TLO could have hoped for, who's immediately re-expanding.
That is the silver lining, though, because I gotta say, I mean, Sage took a massive advantage there, like forcing out these Lings. They are +1 carapace Lings. They're getting +2 right now, but they have nothing to do right now. Like, there's no third base that's ever going to go down. We're at just 10 minutes. There's been so much action inside of 10 minutes, and even another Queen under attack over here. I mean, Sage, this has turned into the dream opening for Sage, I would say.
Yeah, Sage has flipped this back around in a heartbeat. Enduring Locust coming up, TLO's made his intentions clear. He wants to go straight on up into that amazing Swarm Host Swift play that he is known for. 2 Queens en route. 1-1 upgrades also in production. This is, again, one of the modern plays that Protoss players are making, where they're realizing, well, hey, if I'm going to be low on probes because I didn't early expand, you're going to be low on drones too, because you didn't take a third. So I'll use this time to just get up a whole bunch of upgrades.
Yeah, and we can actually kind of maybe perhaps peer into the future here. I don't know that he knows that he's facing Swarm Host just yet, but we do have a Lynx around going in here. These sentries are under siege. 3 force fields will go down. Nexus temporarily put on hold, but really just because the probe can't get outside those force fields. Sage is making his intentions clear. He wants to take that expansion, and it's going to be just a little bit behind TLO's. Oh, wow. Actually, a cancellation attempt here.
I'm not so sure. Oh, God, that was so close. I was like, I'm not so sure that's going to work, but then it got awfully damn close. And it looks like a single Void Ray. Oh, this is
cute.
Just dirty.
This is cute. I like it.
This is so dirty. I mean,
Look
this
where
is
the
one of
Phoenix are.
flexibilities.
Try to get a Queen over there.
Oh my gosh, there's a Spore Crawler there, though. He can move it. Looks like he's waiting for it to
Yeah.
run out of energy.
You know what? I hate to do this because I feel like this is always done to TLO when other people do this, but we're seeing like individual unupgraded infestors coming out. Let me clarify that they're... Yeah, they don't have pathogen glands. I feel like that's TLO getting too fancy. You're on 2 bases. You either go Swarm Host or... I don't know. I don't think you can go Swarm Host Infestors, I guess the point I'm trying to make.
It's hard to do that on just 4 geysers. I mean, you really need 6, sometimes even 8 in that circumstance.
Yeah.
I mean, most players don't really rush for it in this spot, so...
I mean, I can see what he's saying, because he's like, okay, I can't get Corruptors out. I don't have the gas for that in a million years. Infestors have more utility, because I can use them against the Phoenix or Void Rays, but then also against whatever else he makes. But I feel like you put them on hold and instead go for like 8 or 9 Queens with your Swarm Host, double expand, and then start getting the Infestors out. But again, TLO's the expert, I suppose. He knows what he's doing.
Well, I mean, in the process of building the defense he needs, the 7 Queens, he's also built up a nice force to be able to do this sort of big push with a Nidus Worm. But TLO decides to back off. I think he's realized that he needs to reel back his aggression a little bit and is just going for a 4th himself. So this could turn into a very long game, but Sage is doing the ultra-modern style of Void Rays plus whatever.
Yep. Plus double Colossus. But I really like this War Prism play. He's actually... Because, Sean, this is something I get on a pedestal about quite often. Whenever you see Swarm Host, your reaction should be instantly drop a Warp Prism and just get out on the map and keep the actions of the Zerg taxed.
Absolutely. I mean, there's really no better play against Swarm Hosts than just avoiding the Swarm Hosts altogether.
Yep.
Swarm Hosts are the worst defensive unit in the game, period. Nothing is worse at defending a location. Because, I mean, they can't intercept units, they can't... The Locusts are just too slow. If they drop on top of the Swarm Host a little while after they've sent out Locusts, does nothing there still. So, I mean, really, truly, I think very smart play from Sage.
Kind of interesting play from TLO, and I do like that he's doing this. Typically, when you see Swarm Host, you're going to see, like, 9, 10, or, you know, the Stefano number, which is, like, 18. But he's only got 4, so he showed Swarm Host. He's like, hey, look, I'm going Swarm Host. You need to freak out about that. So then Sage says, whoa, I can never attack. I'm going to sit back and massive Void Rays and Colossus and try to be aggressive with the Warp Prism and Phoenix. But really, he's not really going Swarm Host, at least not yet. I mean, he's now adding 2 more. But I felt like he was creating a perception that he's then, you know, lying about, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little move by TLO that looks like he's going to try to mess with his opponent's composition a little bit. And I think it'll work, but TLO's making critical missteps. He has a geyser at his 3rd that only has 1 in it. He needs to get maximum gas everywhere, and Sage is powering up. Sage is looking so good. I mean, Sage already has his 1/1 upgrades done, can soon enough... Well, if he starts his armor upgrade, he's going to have 2/2 coming on up.
Oop. There we go.
4th base is done right now. This just looks magnificent for Sage.
It does, and he's in one corner over here, too, so he has a very neat area to defend. He doesn't have to be stretched out across the map. He's making TLO do that. TLO is double expanding, which I think is the right response. I don't know if it's soon enough. And as you pointed out, he's starved for gas. He's actually very low on gas, while having not like an incredible number of infestors or anything like that. He just has these Swarm Hosts, a few Vipers, and that's about it. No Corruptors, no Hydralisks, no real other army.
Well, looks like, oh my god, Sage has decided that now is the time to push out. TLO can't even get into a good defensive position because Phoenixes are hitting down at the south side. There's pylons going down everywhere. Swarm Hosts try to show up, but I mean, the Colossus count is enormous. I mean, Vipers are there, but I mean, what do you even target? Sure, you pick off maybe 1 or 2 of these Colossi, but there's so much stuff for Sage.
I do like the Blinding Cloud going down there, but that 4th base does die. TLO instantly expands behind it, but losing some of the Swarm Hosts because they were sloppily kind of in front of his forces means that the real potency for TLO is starting to dwindle. I feel like he's not that scary right now.
Well, it looks like a couple pulls bring the Mothership Core a little bit of the ways forward, but oh, Sage.
Yeah.
Not afraid of those Swarm Hosts at all. TLO's reliance on them going to be punishing this game. They all get trapped. And Sage, wow, made it look easy.
He did.
Mean, nearly perfect opening from TLO. Wound up just getting slapped aside, and Sage storms in, and it looks like we're going to have a tie series on our hands.
We do. Day 9, as he does march his way to victory. I couldn't have put it better myself. everything TLO was doing was just a little bit too late, as we do see that Sage capitalizes on those mistakes and takes the win. That means we're all tied up, ladies and gentlemen, which means we're going to go to an ace match to determine this first match. Do we have a reveal for this, producer Conrad? We do? Is it show? There it is. All right. Sage versus Hero.
Oh my
PvP.
God.
Sean, your immediate reaction. What is it?
Oh, well, I mean, you and I were talking about this, like maybe 10 minutes before the cast began. We were looking at the graphics package, and we were like, well, okay, well, now why? Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in there twice because each team gets to send out its player twice. Yeah, and for Ace, well, since they can't send out Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's going to be Sage, and Liquid always sends out Hero, and now here we are.
And I'm excited for this. I do know that Day 9 plays a little bit of the Protoss, but so do I. So there's our personal bias. But I will tell you this. Hero's got that swagger. I remember back in Pro League when EGTL sent Hero out to ace match against Hero. That's one of my more fond memories from our matches, because he kind of owns it. He knows how to master his nerves, which is not what you used to say about Hero, but these days he seems to be the guy for Team Liquid. And of course, Sage, no mystery here in those ATC qualifiers. He was the guy getting 3 or 4 kills every time he was sent out. And then certainly when it went to ace match, it was Sage's turn to try to save Root.
I cannot wait for this match. So, Jeff, I'm going to withhold all commentary so we can step away ASAP.
You are a man of many talents, Day 9. So, guys, we're going to do a quick commercial break. We're going to collect ourselves, and it's going to be the last final match of the night, the ace match, Sage and Hero. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.